So you quit your job, you traveled in an RV across the country to rescue animals. And I want to know what that was like. What were you doing as a job to begin with that you quit?
Yeah, I was working for a finance company where I would go to different sales companies and help them with like motivation and sales strategies to, increase optimization and to be more motivated. Talk to them about energy and health. A lot of what I talk about now, but I would do it, for a corporate company and go in there. They would call me a corporate trainer, but the truth is, it's. Can I curse on here or no?
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, it was bullshit. I didn't know at all how to train a company. I never owned a business. I was just a tall guy who looked good in a suit, who can reiterate words from other people. It's all about motivate, but I didn't know anything about it. I felt like such a phony.
Because it wasn't from your experience, right? It was just
No,
something you read
exactly.
and
I believed it. It's not that I didn't believe it. I believed, you need to be healthy and you need to work hard and go, all these things. But you shouldn't never speak about something unless you experience it. You should never ask somebody how to start a business or how to run a business if he's never or she's never done those things, So I was just a phony. I was so tired of being a phony. I was so tired of being like everybody else. I was so tired of not starting my own path, my own way. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because you mentioned death. I thought a lot about death, and it's like, what's this thought that you're going to live another 10 years? What's this thought that you're going to live another 5 years? You don't know shit. You don't know what the fuck is going to happen tonight. I said, what do you love to do, Lee Asher? What do you love to do? I said, I love to help people. What else do you love to do? I said, I love to help animals. Fucking go do it. Go figure out how to do that. Those are the two things that you don't need to make money from to be happy. Go do that and nothing else. And that became my obsession, to figure those things out. How do I do that? And the answer was right in front of me, because I had, I was at the shelter and I was making videos of animals, and people loved the videos at the time. And it was getting animals adopted. So I said, why don't I do this? How do I take it to the next level and the next one? I kept thinking like, okay, this I can only take this to here, right? To this level. What can I do now to take it to the next one? And that's what I kept focusing on, is the next level, which I'm sure I could tell you're someone who has really high standards, because you talked about your purpose, which I think you do such a good job at this. So you obviously have really high standards. So people with high standards, it's much harder for them to find their purpose, right? Because you'll find your purpose. You say, no, that can't be it. Right? It has to be this, it has to be that, right? But a lot of times our purpose is just that, is just doing that little bit of good. That one person's life that you saved, that was it. You continue on that path, not that you retire, but you just keep. But anyways, I knew for me, like, I had to leave it all behind. I had to leave it all behind, right? And
so what was that like, literally quitting your job, not knowing where your income was going to come from? And how did you do it?
I was just thinking about this morning. I seriously, Rachel, I was just thinking about this. I was at the gym and I was having a hard time with my workout. And sometimes when I'm having a hard time, what I do is I think of harder times. So whenever I'm having a hard time, I think of a time that was harder for me, that I got through it. And that always helps me with the hard time, which is a really good strategy. So I was thinking about the day that I told my mentor my plan. His name is Al. He lives in Palm Beach. And this is the only guy who I felt ever thought I'd be successful, right? There was one guy who thought I'd be successful, and it was, very successful guy. And his word meant everything to me. And I told him my plan, and he said, for the first time ever, he called me stupid.
Wow.
He's like, wow, you're stupid. I said, no, don't say that. I remember. He said, I really believed in you. Past tense. And now you're doing this. Because the way everyone would explain it, you're quitting your job to travel with dogs in an RV. And it's like, you could say anything. with that tone and make it. I said, no, I'm going to go to different shelters. I'm going to visit shelters and get animals adopted. And I'm going to be able to teach people how to train rescue animals and how to build a bond. And, I'm passionate about it. And I remember just like, you feel so small. Like you feel like, I felt like how, like, just like back I did in those classes, you so alone, so misunderstood, like nobody gets it, and it's at that moment that you can decide. That is a pivotal moment for your life, your career, your relationships. It's that moment where you say, okay, here's the decision I have to make. I'm going to it's not about proving everyone wrong. It's about, am I going to prove to myself that I'm right? Or am I going to prove them that they're right?
Right.
You should never want to prove to them that they're wrong, right? Because now you have ego involved in your mission. There should never be ego involved in your mission. The battle is always within. Am I going to prove to myself that I'm right? And I was born with all these, dyslexic and ADD and this and all that, can't do math, can't do this, all because I'm supposed to do this with my life? Or am I going to show them that they were right? You see? And that was the moment, I said, I'm going to do everything it takes.
And that's so brave, because it's so hard for people, because so many people ask outside opinions, right? And that sways.
No. You never. Today, somebody asked me my opinion on an invention that they want to create, right? And I said, will my opinion make a difference in whether or not you do it or not? And they said, I'm not sure. And I said, first decide if you're going to do it no matter what, then ask me my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Such a great answer. But that's such a great lesson that you're giving people on, don't be swayed because somebody else is disappointed in your decision, because ultimately you will feel disappointed if you don't follow your own path. I mean, that's why so many people are stuck.
Exactly. When they say the affirmation, which I love, all you need is within you now, right? That is because it is completely, you are the controller. You are all of it. You are everything that you need to do what you need to do. You are everything that you need to be able to pivot, right? There's a difference, right? Let's say, for example, it's a basketball player who's obsessed with basketball. I have to play basketball. I have to play basketball. What that person needs to do is realize they don't have to play basketball, but they have to be involved in basketball. You have to be able to pivot. You have to love it so much that you're willing to let the universe eventually tell you, listen, you literally don't have legs. You can't play basketball in the NBA, but you can be a hell of a fucking coach.
Right.
And that's what it's about. It's about not letting people tell you, but you understanding what you're able to do and what you're able to accomplish, but never taking your eyes off the main goal, right? You have to have your eyes so laser focused on it. And I was lucky, a lot of people tell me this, which they're right. Excuse me while I take my jacket off. A lot of people say it was easier for you to make this decision because you didn't have a wife or children. I did have a girlfriend at the time that, I knew with where my head was at, my focus was going to be my passion. But, when someone says, yeah, but I have kids, I have this, I have that, at the end of the day, these are all the reasons why you should do it.
Yeah. Right.
When people tell me their reasoning of why they can't get to a certain point in their life or their career, they're telling me the reasons why they should. Right. You're telling me all the reasons why you should be, even if you fail, you're teaching your kids that you went for it no matter what, Right. We have such a short window, Rachel. Like, if you think about it, right? It's not, even if you lived to 100 years old, in order to be a healthy operator as a human being, you have to get enough sleep, minimum 7-8 hours, right? You have to exercise minimum an hour. You have to eat right. So you have to plan that accordingly. You have to invest rest. You have to invest whether it be meditation or cold or sauna. You have all of these things that you have to do to be clear and focused. You have such a short window to do something amazing.
Mm.
So we should never spend that time with reasons of why we're not doing it.
Right.
You know, everything should be to better your life, to better you are an energy. Like you have no control over that. You are an unstoppable energy. When you move, energy moves with you. You walk into a restaurant, that energy is now formed with all these other energies. You have a responsibility as a human being to be an unstoppable force for good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's why everyone's so messed up right now, because there's so much negative energy, so many people making bad decisions that you're kind of, people are confused of which direction they should go.
Right.
But you need to be laser focused on your mission. You need to be laser focused on your passion. You need to, when you're doing that, you don't judge others, you don't make fun of others, you don't put negative, you're too busy and you're too focused on being a force for good.
Right.
That should be everyone's rule, everyone's intention, to be a force for good every day.